The Catallegro project is really interesting because it started with me making short social media reels, about 30 to 60 seconds in length. And what I did is I did a mass call for people's cats' names and some photos of their cats. And then what I did with them is I made a crypto key or cryptogram. And what that is it's a key and it takes the letters of the alphabet, so A through Z, and then it transfers them to notes on the keyboard. So each one of them is like a different key. So the key of C major is all the white keys on the keyboard. So the easiest one that you can remember. So it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so forth. So looking at the alphabet, starting with A, so the key of C major starts with C, so C would be A, and so forth. So, for example, like Ringo's name would be, I don't have my crypto key on me, but the R in his name would be a specific note on the keyboard, depending on what key I did it in, which was C major. So then I made about 25 different reels from people's cats' names and the photos, and I constructed the songs in real time, and then I kind of cut them up to be like 30 to 60 seconds in length and made a bunch of reels from them, and using my Ableton Push standalone 3 Ableton Push 3 standalone. And so that instrument is a standalone instrument, as it says in the name. And when you make a project in it, it stores locally in there, in that instrument. So I had all these instrumentals that I started in my Ableton Push 3 standalone. And I decided, after I made all those reels and everything, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make full instrumentals out of these. So then what I did is I took each one of them, so there were about like 25 of them, and then I split them into two. One of them I used for my presentation at the Milwaukee Synth Meet. Shout out to Golf Shoe Music. So I decided I'm going to do 24 full songs. So I took the first 12 people that sent them to me, and I did them in order. And then I took the structure of the song that was in the Ableton Push 3 standalone, and then I transferred it to my computer into Ableton Live. And then I constructed a full instrumental from that reel, basically. So all 12 of the instrumentals are on YouTube. Like, you can find them and you can listen to them. They each have the cat's name, and then in parentheses it says instrumental. So then you know it's the instrumental version of the reel that I made of the cat's name. And then I decided, well, I have all these instrumentals, so I'm going to make them into like full songs and release 2 separate albums. So the first album I'm still working on is Catallegro 1, and I've finished 8 songs so far, full songs. So I took the instrumentals and then I decided, hey, I'm going to add some vocals over them. And this is interesting because I am not a vocalist. I am not a singer. You could call me a vocalist because I'm adding vocals to my songs, but I am not like a trained vocalist. I don't call myself one. I'm purely an electronic instrumentalist or electronic music producer. I love making beats. I love making chill beats. My genre is probably like chill wave or trip hop or chill step or anything along those lines. So, but yeah, I decided, you know what, I'm going to push the limits for myself and I'm going to add vocals onto these instrumentals. So I first started out with the instrumental, and then I added some like a phrase. So like I'm not adding like chorus, verse, chorus, hook, like that kind of stuff. I'm adding a phrase, and then I'm kind of like looping the phrase as the chorus in a way, and then like taking that phrase and like chopping and twisting and adding tons of vocals, tons of effects to it, like reverb and ensemble and like delay and echo and all kinds of like cool effects to them. And what I've been doing recently, which is really cool, is I've been, instead of just like taking that one phrase and then like duplicating it and editing it, I'm actually doing the phrase, or I'm singing the phrase, and then I'm with my vocal processor, and then I'm making separate tracks, and then each track has a separate vocal layer. So I'm like layering and layering and layering. So like I think the last like 2 songs I've had like 6+ layers of vocals. And to explain more, what I'm doing is I'm taking that completed mastered instrumental and I'm dropping it into Ableton Live, and then I'm adding the vocal layers on top of it. And then I'm like remastering it. So yeah, I've gotten 8 of them done so far. I think the reason why I'm doing it this way and why I want to finish Catallegro series and not kind of move on, although if you do look at my YouTube channel, I do have a couple of songs where I instrumentals where they weren't part of like Catallegro. I just got inspiration. But the reason why I'm like really pushing myself with this Catallegro series is because number 1, it's pushing me out of my zone. Number 2, like the motive of the song isn't something that's like coming from my own brain. The motive of the song is from that crypto key. So like the cat's name. So I'm like constructing a full song out of something that's like predetermined. And it's really cool because it's like pushing my creativity out in a specific way where I can't just like freely say, hey, I think I want to, start it like this and then do it like this. It's like it starts this way and then I have to like build onto it and make it sound good. So I think it's definitely pushing those boundaries, but also like adding my vocals to the songs. Like I mean, that's definitely pushing my boundaries as well. But yeah, that's what the Catallegro project is. And I think like when you're producing music, when you first start, and this is for the people that are watching who maybe are just starting to get into music production, when you first start, like you're learning a lot, so it's gonna go up, 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 up. But then there's gonna be a point, at least in my time, where I kind of like there's like a plateau where you're like, I don't think I'm getting any better. I don't think I'm learning anything else. Like, I don't know what direction this is going. Like, it's just kind of stagnant. And I've learned that if you can take breaks, please take breaks, yes. But if you keep pushing through that plateau, you're gonna go up and start climbing mountains. And that's kind of what I feel like with this Catallegro project is like I'm climbing a mountain with it. And I mean that in the best way possible, because like it's a fun mountain. Mountains are fun to climb, especially if you like success and achievement, and, to make things that are meaningful and to learn and to grow. And, these mountains that we're all climbing, we're all learning every single day. And Catallegro really is pushing me out of that plateau and like really putting me up into that mountain to climb further. And I think like what I'm really excited about, like in general about this, is once the Catallegro album 1 is done, then I'm going to move on to the second Catallegro album. And the second one, I'm basically back to square one where I'm taking these projects from my Ableton Push and putting them into Ableton Live and constructing full instrumentals from them. And I'm really excited for you, and I'm excited for myself to see all this like progression, like to get better and better, over the different months and the different songs that I'm making. And I'm really excited because once I'm done with these 2 Catallegro albums, it's like everything's gonna open up. And like I'm gonna have like full reign of freedom again to like make my own motive of the song. And all the stuff that I drilled into my brain is gonna be like stuff that like stays with me and is like instilled into me. And I think this like Catallegro project is just like a huge learning experience for me. Even though I have been producing music since I was 18-ish, so like over a decade. It's a different type of like production. And yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. And, I think that if I were to give advice and tips to anybody that is starting to do music production, definitely stick with it, keep going, once you hit that plateau, push through it. Just remember, like it won't last forever, especially if you don't give up. And soon you will be climbing mountains. And that is my advice. Climb those mountains, get to the point where you can climb the mountains. Because it's not the end point. That's the journey is not the end. The journey is the journey. So once you get past the plateau and you get to the mountain and you're climbing it, that's where you want to be. Like, you want to be continuously climbing that mountain. And that's just my advice and my 2 cents coming from somebody who's, a music producer. But yeah, I am really excited for you to see how this Catallegro project is going to continue to evolve, and like how my music production is going to continue to evolve. And I'm excited to start making videos again with like me with my push. I know all of my videos recently have been based on more of like the Ableton Live and like the production stuff. On social media, I'm doing some like tips and tricks and some like very like creative content that's entertaining. But I'm excited to get back into the push world. And yeah, but I need to finish these. I'm a type of person, like, if I start something, I want to finish it. So I'm almost done with the first album, and the second one should be pretty quick after that. And then it'll be on all streaming platforms. If you go on the streaming platforms right now, you will see 2 EPs that I produced about a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's just interesting to see like how different, or like the progression of like the way that I produce music, is like going along on the timeline. But yeah, if you go to the streaming platforms, you'll see those. But the Catallegro 1 album should be out pretty soon here, because I only have a couple more songs left before I release the whole album. And then I'm on to album number 2. So, yeah, if you like the songs, all of them are on, all of the full instrumentals and the ones with my vocals are on YouTube, on my channel, Veena Media. And the album will be on all streaming platforms once Catallegro 1 is finished. So yeah, if you like the songs, if you want to follow along with my journey, make sure to subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything else that you want me to like discuss or talk about. There's a lot of stuff in my brain. I got a lot of stuff in there. After getting all my degrees and stuff, I have a lot of education packed up in my brain. So I would love to share everything with all of you. And even going on to more of like the personal stuff too. Kind of like how I got to this point in my life, and what it's taken to get to this point, and where I came from and everything. It's a long journey. So yeah, make sure to subscribe and let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.